I think it was about 10 years ago that a group contacted me and asked me to do a blog post for their organization of entrepreneurs and to talk about issues affecting entrepreneurs and to lend my support, my ideas, my perspective on how entrepreneurs can become better at what they're doing. And it occurred to me at that time that their reaching out to me was important as an entrepreneur, and we spoke the same language. Now, since that time, I would say the entrepreneurship has become really hot, and a lot of people are talking about entrepreneurship and writing about it. Even 10 years ago, it wasn't quite the way it is today, even though it was on a rise, certainly, and that was more than it was 10 years before that. You know, I've been doing this a while, and so I've seen the ebb and flow of the entrepreneurial discussion and just how entrepreneurship has become more popular. You know, we've got television programs about entrepreneurs, and that wasn't something that was common. But I chose to write about the issue of entrepreneurship and loneliness because as an entrepreneur, even in the midst of a world where there's so many people who say they're entrepreneurs, it's still the minority. You know, you're still in a world where there are not many entrepreneurs relative to the population and the working population. And also, there are different degrees of entrepreneurs, of course. There are entrepreneurs who are doing small type projects. They think of themselves as entrepreneurs and they're doing smaller things. And then there are people who think of themselves as entrepreneurs and they're doing huge things. They're doing hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars of activity. And then there's everything in between. So it's easy to say, yes, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm not that kind of entrepreneur, or I'm not that kind of entrepreneur. But entrepreneurship is lonely, and I don't think a lot of people talk about that much because entrepreneurship is glamorized. But it is lonely because so much of your time is spent in your head. You know, you're thinking about the things you have to do, the plans you have to execute, the customers you have to satisfy, the people that have to be billed, the contracts that have to be signed, the things that have to be fulfilled, the debts that have to be paid, and then all the other things that are personal. Not that those aren't personal, but then they're distinctly personal things. And what happens typically is you're not around people who understand that at all. They don't really understand the entrepreneurial quest, you know, what you're doing. They don't understand why you're doing it. They don't understand your commitment to it. They don't understand why you're knocking your head against the wall doing this. And there's another thing. Most entrepreneurs will go through a period, whether that is 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, whatever the number is, where the results do not reflect the progress that you've made. They don't reflect the insight that you have. They don't reflect the impact that you're having. They don't reflect the momentum even that you have. Someone can look at you and not realize that your momentum is moving toward greater and greater success. And they can say, hey, but you still have difficulty paying this bill. You still have difficulty doing X, Y, Z. So it's a lonely endeavor because you have to constantly remind yourself that it's something that has rewards to it. Not only the rewards of the financial rewards, but the psychic value of being an entrepreneur. I mean, you're doing something that 95% of the population won't do. They won't take their idea and move with it. They won't take something that's important to them and commit to it. And so what you're doing something that a lot of people frankly don't understand. Now they understand the whole idea of coming home from a place they really don't like working at, toiling in the evening, doing extra work, getting their clothes all prepared to get out early in the morning, driving long distances in traffic, dealing with politics and all sorts of. They understand that in terms of a job, but they don't understand why you would do what you're doing. And so you have to find a way to renew yourself continually as an entrepreneur and remind yourself why you're doing it, remind yourself that there are great rewards to it, and remind yourself that this is in some ways a heroic step that you've taken, and that you are helping people, you are solving problems, you are bringing value to the world, and you have to keep that in mind to keep yourself going. There are entrepreneurs out there who are depressed. There are entrepreneurs out there who are dealing with all kinds of anxiety and issues because they feel alone in what they're doing. Now, I don't have the complete answer to this, but I do have some things that have really worked for me over the years because I've been working as an entrepreneur for a long time. I've had ups and downs. I've had great moments and I've had challenging moments, but in the main, it's been great. It's been something that I'm glad that I decided to do, because every day I live, my work life is filled with joy. You know, what I do, I feel joyful in doing. However, there are a couple of things I think that are important for you to do. The first is this may sound like I'm being sarcastic, but the first thing is to cry. Whether it's literally or whether it's figuratively, it's admit what you feel about any given moment. You know, okay, I'm not happy I didn't get this deal. I'm not happy I'm at a place where I can't really meet this payroll. I'm not happy that I spent all this time with this prospect and I'm not going to make any money doing this. I'm not happy that I'm having difficulty getting clients. Just deal with that issue quickly. Just deal with it. Deal with the issue, get it out of your mind, express your disappointment, and then move away from that. Do that as quickly as you can. Spend a little bit of time on that, not a lot of time, but spend whatever time you need to do to deal with your disappointment and express where you are, and then start to think about the rewards, the good things that have happened, the great things about what you do. Well, I'm doing my own thing. Well, this company has my name on it. Well, I've got a product that I've created. Well, I've been working at this for a long time, so it's not like this is my first day. I've been doing this. You know, I made a few dollars this year doing this. People really enjoyed this product that I offered. You know, I feel great that I'm moving on my own goals. You know, I've been doing this for 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. I feel good about that. Well, I'm not someone who is worried about being fired. I'm not worried about being downsized. I love the field that I'm in. Start to talk about and think about the good things that you have to offer. That will do tremendous value in helping you stay aligned where you should be, which is that entrepreneurship is great, the potential is great. You just have to work out some details in order to make that make it work for you. The third thing is to acquaint yourself with the stories of entrepreneurs. Make sure you are always reading about entrepreneurs. Make sure you are watching documentaries about entrepreneurs. Make sure you're watching them online. Make sure you're looking at the great stories of entrepreneurs and what they have done and what they have overcome. When you read those stories, it will motivate you. It will inspire you. Few entrepreneurs have had things just happen like that. They dealt with a period where things were not working, where people didn't believe in them, where their product just didn't seem to work, and so they dealt with that. And so get yourself acquainted with the stories out there of other entrepreneurs. And what you will see in that process is that your story is not that much different. There's just some more things that you need to learn. Now, the next thing I would do is dig in. Dig in. Wherever you are, dig in. Try something new. Try a new product. Try a new marketing campaign. Try a new prospect. Try something new to give yourself some new energy associated with the business. new energy associated with the business. Get someone else on board. Get a part-timer. Open at different hours. Try going down to that flea market and selling your products. Try something new. And when you try something new, that will give you some new energy associated with it. And then the next thing I would say is expect to succeed. Expect that you will succeed. Expect that you will have new progress. Expect that you will have new impact. Expect customers to come around. Do not condition yourself to believe, oh, well, this person is never going to buy anything, so I'm not going to call them back. Oh, well, this is not going to work, so I'm not going to be bothered. Oh, well, I'll never find the right person to do this job. Expect to succeed, because a lot of times, particularly when you're dealing with customers, 60, 70, 80% of them aren't ready to buy from you. They hear what you're saying, they see what you have to offer, but they're not yet ready. So this is a real psychological game to keep yourself on firm ground. And you can succeed as an entrepreneur, but you have to first deal with those challenges that affect you psychologically. Entrepreneurship can be lonely, but it's lonely if you isolate yourself. It's lonely if you're talking with people who don't understand it. It's lonely if you don't get connected to the bigger picture of entrepreneurship. It's lonely if you do not celebrate your wins. And it's lonely if you don't expect to have more wins. You can succeed as an entrepreneur. It is not that unusual that you might be lonely, and some entrepreneurs even feel depressed. But you can rise out of that. You can have new successes. And as I like to say, you can still win. If you like this tip, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. Please share it with someone that you know will benefit from hearing this. I know there are a lot of entrepreneurs in your network who need to hear this. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel, because I have a lot more coming. And you can subscribe by clicking the icon with my photo. And I will see you next time.